Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So today we're going to talk about taking Mitch McConnell's advice. Because he said something. It's a good idea. It is. I know. It seems odd. But he did, and I think we should do it, and we're going to do it in here. We're going to take his advice right here. See, it's hard to get a read on McConnell because half the time he's acting like Trump's intern and just doing whatever he says, and then sometimes he breaks with him on weird issues. And it's hard to figure it out. But he said that he's not in a hurry to do the next stimulus package. Now, what he actually said, so I can be fair, because I'm going to use him as an example of something. I don't think we have yet felt the urgency of acting immediately. That time could develop, but I don't think it has yet. And I can get that from his point of view. You know, I mean, all his millionaire and billionaire buddies, they've already been bailed out. It's not like we need to worry about the little guy who is currently creeping towards 1 in 5 being unemployed. Yeah, no urgency though. Get around to it whenever you want to. That's not his logic. His logic is that we need to see what effect the money we've spent already, see the effects of that money. We need to see what it has caused. Now that is good advice. That is good advice. Let's see what the money spent has done. I like that. So I went over to opensecrets.org. If you're not familiar with it, it's a website that allows you to determine who owns your politician. Or I'm sorry, who contributes to the re-election campaign of your elected representatives who are always acting in good faith. And I went to McConnell's. It's interesting. Now, I did want to be fair. I wanted to be fair to him, so I limited it to the last 5 years, and I'm only going to talk about companies that had given him, on average, $10,000 or more per year for 5 years, if you break it down, okay? No company that I'm going to mention has given him less than $60,000 over those 5 years. And understand when I say company, you're going to need to look at the methodology that Open Secrets uses. They track the employers of individual donors. So that way, if company X decides to donate a whole bunch of money to a senator, they can't hide it by having their employees donate the money. Okay, so when you're looking at his list, yeah, I mean, you got the normal offenders, the people that normally contribute to senators. You've got the big investment groups who already got their bailout. You got NORPAC, Vote Sane, you know, the normal ones. You also have Altria Group. Altria Group. Nobody knows what that is, right? That's Philip Morris. That's big tobacco. Maybe that explains why he's not in a hurry to bail out the little guy, like the farmers in his state, who were already having trouble, and now their land's going to be available real cheap. If only there was some big company that would probably buy it up. He donates to, or he gets a lot of money from healthcare. You know, one of the big standbys when you start talking about campaign contributions is that the companies donate to candidates based on their policies and their ideological motivations, and they support them based on that. Because it seems real likely that the healthcare industry and big tobacco are going to support the same candidate. Maybe it's not about that. Maybe that it's about profit motivation, and maybe this is why McConnell is so intractable when it comes to making sure that everybody gets health care, making it more accessible. Because if it's accessible, well, then it's got to be cheaper. It's not as profitable now, is it? A lot of money from health care. A lot. Like, I mean, tons. Let's see what else we have here. We have Geo Group. It's a real estate investment company, kind of. It's private prisons is what it really is. I think they do mental health care facilities too, in an attempt to be fair. Man, that fits right in line with McConnell, doesn't it? That's strange. I wonder if he always felt that way, or if that was a shift, a change. Somebody should look into that. Here's an interesting one. Both FedEx and UPS give him money. Now that's weird. It's not like one is gonna try to obtain an edge over the other. Not like they're trying to take out their competitor. Unless, of course, that competitor is the United States Post Office, which McConnell has recently just abandoned. It's almost like every single policy decision the man makes can be tracked back to this list. Let's see what effect the money has. There it is. I strongly suggest you do this. I've talked about this site on this channel before. Go see who has contributed to your candidate, to your representative, and see how much you think your vote actually matters when this much money is at play. Because see, us common folk, us peons, those at the bottom, well, we don't have lobbyists. You know who our lobbyists are supposed to be? The people taking this money. In this system, those representatives, those senators, they're supposed to lobby on our behalf. But when you're talking about that kind of money, and this kind of money, that's not just lunch money. This is motive with a universal adapter. When you add this up, you are talking about millions. We talk about corruptions in other countries. The Senate and the House, they could give a master class on corruption to all of these smaller governments that we tend to criticize. Because they can do it out in the open. Because they have the people trained to think it's normal. To not ask questions. To not see what effect the money has. You got a great idea, Senator. I would suggest that getting stimulus money in the hands of the little guy, those people in your state, especially, Senator, it's probably pretty important. It is probably pretty important. Maybe you should display a little bit of urgency, given the fact that all of the experts are saying that we're going to be going through this ups and downs for a while. Maybe get off your rear. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.